So, Chris, I recently finished up this trip and met with a bunch of different customers. Whether it's consumer-facing experiences they're trying to build or something within the enterprise or outside the enterprise, doesn't matter. All of these customers are thinking about everything outside the browser, not just the browser.
There's always a technological leap, but the bar raises just a little bit. And I think over the past, probably 6 years, I've seen it on like 3 bar raises in a really, really fast period of time. Next 3-4 years of what was known as web content management or enterprise document management, all of those categories all kind of go away. And to me, it's all about the experience of seeing, discovering, searching, managing, governing, and doing something with that content.
There's no place where you can go and look at all the content that you have out there, all the messaging that you've put out there, whether it's in email campaigns, on your website, on billboards. You cannot look at it in one place and say, this is why this was effective.
Right.
So you look at campaigns more broadly. You're not looking at it from a content perspective to see what is working and what is not working.
It's been really hard, I think, for people to grok the fact that I don't have to recreate it. It really does exist somewhere.
Exactly.
I can't discover it. I can't find it. I can't distribute it. And those have been just humongous problems over the past 20 plus years.
And the other thing all of these customers said they're struggling with is when they do have the content to present in a website or an application, they struggle with making the right information accessible to the user. They've created these thousands, tens of thousands of pages of content. And now when the user comes to them, they have to use whatever search technology can help them with. But they really cannot make that entire experience very accessible to the end user.
I also want to get to the point where the content experience or the experience of creation becomes a recommendation. In other words, I'd like to be able to get to a point where the information is smarter than I am, or as smart as I am, maybe, or as smart as you or anybody else. So the point is, the system should know as I type and create content that I'm looking for a lion or a tiger or a bear, and present me with images of that.
So at the very core of it, as you said earlier, it's a way to bring together content from a variety of different places, whether it is images and other types of assets you're bringing in, or it is user-generated content that resides here. But it should be easy to bring it into one place from all of these different applications. Then you talked about governance on top of this, so that you can manage it for consistency, for any kind of legal compliance, all of those kinds of things. And then you talked about being able to serve it into any kind of experience.
It should be available for use within responses. So if I'm going to create a campaign, why am I going to retype the content? Or why am I going to go pay somebody $1,000 for a photo session to take a picture that's already sitting in a repository somewhere, or is in the public domain? I mean, it's mind-boggling to me how much money people spend on recreation.
Other places we are connecting into inside of Oracle, into other applications?
Well, we'll continue, as we had been talking, we'll continue working with Responsis and Eloqua and Commerce. We should get to a point where any content, image, video, or whatever, and you see something in it that you like, you should be able to acquire it. And the whole back-end process about the payment systems and where the data is held and all those sort of, and the PIM and the catalog that it's held in is never seen. And so we're working with the Service Cloud team to make sure that repository is available for enriching their knowledge database. Same goes for mobile. I think mobile, people shop on their mobile device.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure that experience, whether it's through chatbots or whatever, simplify that experience, that content is available on the mobile device. ERP and HR.
So I'm assuming what you also meant by it is support for different types of frameworks, like React or Angular or any other flavor of JavaScript out there that you can use to build experiences.
Right. I think from our perspective at Oracle, we need to be able to support, that environment, but we also have to be very opinionated about how can we effectively help a developer create an experience faster, easier, less cost, all of those things, all the time.
Right.
So anyway, yes, I think.
So when the
that's
painting
where
of this elephant is complete, there is a nice little repository at the center of it all, which is open on both ends to bring in data and to distribute data on the other side. There's a single pane of glass to look at what's happening where with that content. And there's a whole bunch of efficiency and effectiveness tools built in through any kind of AI or machine learning type of methodologies that we build into it.
Right.
So that's essentially the picture of this elephant.
And if we can do that, and we can do that in a way that's simple to implement, from a cloud infrastructure perspective, and then we can keep it up 99.99x, 9x% of the time, that we can enhance it on a regular, agile basis, it's a win.